The Korean peninsula remains on high alert tonight as the region weighs up the implications of Kim Jong-il's death. North Korea has named his inexperienced son, Kim Jong-un, as the Hermit Kingdom's great successor. But there are concerns that change of leadership could lead to political instability and spark conflict with the South. This report from Stephen McDonnell, who's in the South Korean capital.
North Korean television is showing image after image of people wailing in the streets. The passing of leader Kim Jong-il has left the entire country, it seems, barely able to control themselves. Even in death, the so-called dear leader is being managed by the propaganda machine. This is apparently the last photo of Kim Jong-il alive. A special broadcast declared that foreign delegations would not be present at Kim Jong-il's main funeral ceremony, and all entertainment has been banned during 11 days of official mourning. The man labelled the great successor has been anointed to take the reins of this impoverished, nuclear-armed country. He's 20-something years old and barely known even in his own country. Yet support is already coming from North Korea's closest ally.
China and North Korea will strive together to continue making positive contributions to consolidating and developing the traditional friendship between our two parties, governments and peoples, and to preserving the peace and stability of the Korean peninsula and the region.
Across what's probably the world's most heavily armed frontier, the South Korean military is on high alert at this time of great uncertainty. After all, the demilitarised zone is only a short drive from the South Korean capital. Here in Gwanghwamun Square in the heart of Seoul, people seem to be going about their daily lives as their government asked them to do. But underneath there's real concern. The unpredictable North has a new leader and they know very little about him.
He's still young. He has supporters, but very little experience. There could be problems.
Yet some remain optimistic.
Kim Jong-un could represent a new generation. Compared with the old conservatives, his leadership might bring more harmony.
South Koreans will be hoping they can still have a Merry Christmas after all. Stephen McDonnell, ABC News, Seoul.
And Stephen McDonnell joins us now from the South Korean capital. Stephen, how has news from the north gone down in the Korean peninsula?
Well, if you talk to people here in Seoul, there are a range of views as people try to come to terms with the death of Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un taking over. Everything from those who have just become numb to these ongoing series of conflicts between South and North Korea, to those who are really concerned that this new era represents the great unknown. Now in North Korea, you'd love to know what's going on in the upper echelons of power there. They also wouldn't be knowing where their country's going to head. In the streets, of course, we're seeing all the crying, the outpouring of emotion, but behind the scenes, who knows what the discussions really are.
Even before North Korea announced Kim's death, it reportedly test-fired a missile. How provocative an act was that?
Yes, well, that missile test hasn't actually been confirmed, but it's these types of things that it's exactly why we have the South Korean military on high alert, because there just seems to be this endless range of missiles and shells being fired around that border region, and the worry is that that will turn into something of a broader conflict. And here they're also worried that it might be some sign of the new leadership flexing its muscles.
So, Stephen, what then of his successor, the young Kim Jong-un? What are the expectations of him?
Well, their hope here, as we heard, is that this will be a new era of potentially more open relations between South and North Korea, and the North might even open up to Chinese-style economic reforms. The more pessimistic view is that this new leader is going to have to show how tough he is, and in that case, the relationship between these two countries could get even worse.
Stephen McDonnell in Seoul, thank you.